you miss this out, there's no point looking at or finding the Fortuna point. So please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list. What is the Fortuna point? The Fortuna point is the addition of the degrees between the ascendant, the Lagna degrees, the actual degrees, the moon's degrees, they both are added, and you subtract the sun's degrees from the total sum of between the ascendant and the Lagna. So once you add the ascendant and moon's degrees and you subtract the degrees of the sun's placement, then the final degrees that you get, where is that particular point lying in the horoscope, that sign and that particular house becomes where the Fortuna point is, which means the fortune will come from there, or good fortune will come from there. Now, having said that, how is the Fortuna point calculated? So let's see the Fortuna point by virtue of taking one example. But before we get into the example, as I said earlier, once more, the actual degrees of the ascendant and the moon are added. So you look at where exactly which sign the ascendant is placed, or the ascendant sign is, how many degrees it is, then you add which sign the moon is. So if the ascendant is in Aries, then you look at only the degrees of Aries. But if the ascendant is in Taurus, then you add the degrees of Aries and the degrees of Taurus that the ascendant has moved. If the ascendant is in Cancer, then you take all the degrees up till Gemini, which means 30, 30, 30 each, and the degrees of Cancer, and then you add of them, and then you make it the ascendant. If your ascendant is in Virgo, then you take all the sign degrees up till Leo, which is 30, 30, 30 degrees of each one of them, till Leo, which is 30 into 5, which is 150 degrees, and then you add whatever the degrees in Virgo is. So if Virgo is at 15 degrees, you will add 30, 30, 30 degrees of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer and Leo, which is 150 degrees, and then you will add whatever degrees in Virgo. If the Virgo is at 15 degrees, then 150 and 15, which is 165. Same thing you do with the moon's degrees also. If the moon is in, say for example in Taurus, then you will take the 30 degrees of Aries, and then you will add the number of degrees in Taurus. So if moon is at 4 degrees in Taurus, then you will take 30 degrees of Aries plus you will add 4 degrees of Taurus. So then the moon is lying at 34 degrees. So you will take the actual complete degrees of how many degrees the planet or the ascendant has traveled, and you use those degrees. So the ascendant, if it's at 15 degrees in Cancer, then it has already traveled 30, 30, 30 degrees of Aries, Taurus, Gemini each, and then also travel 15 degrees of Cancer. So that's why you will take 30, 30, 30 degrees of Aries, Taurus, Cancer, of Gemini, 90 degrees, and you will take 15 degrees of Cancer. So 90 plus 15 is 105. So that's how you take the overall complete degrees, adding all the complete journey that planet has traversed, and take that as the final degrees. Some apps will give you the final longitude also of that particular planetary placement. So they'll give you the overall degrees also, but some apps, if they don't give you, so I'm telling you how to calculate the placement. And once you calculate the ascendant and moon's complete degrees, keeping in mind this methodology and the sun's, then you add ascendant and moons and subtract the sun's points, then only you will get the final degrees of the Fortuna point, and then you will see where does the final degree lie in which sign, and that becomes that particular sign and house where the Fortuna point is. And then you see where is the placement of the lord of that particular sign. So if the Fortuna sign lies in Taurus, then you will see where Venus lies, and so you will connect the dots between Taurus and Venus, where Venus is placed, which house it is placed in, and then you will overall calculate where the fortune is coming from.
So now, if the Fortuna point is in the Lagna itself, in the ascendant itself, in the first house, what does this mean? There are two meanings to the Fortuna point at a larger level. Number one, it means where your fortune lies, from where your fortune may come from where your good luck may come from, your success may come from. Second is that if you want success in life, you will have to work upon the areas of that house. And only when you work upon the areas of the house will you get success. So in a way, it's a combination of which areas of life you need to work upon. And because you do that, from where the fortune may come, from the dissemination of that area of that house. So here, because the first house, the Lagna, is generally about your general life, your goals, your stature in society, your designation, and how you think, how you look at goals, how you pursue your goals, what kind of killer instinct you have, what kind of motivation you have, what kind of energy you have. So, Fortuna Point in the first house means that the floor is open to you. The zodiac is open up the floor and telling you that you make your own fortune by virtue of how you work upon the areas of the first house. Which means the more you work upon your willpower, the more you work upon how you see things, how you assimilate things, how you analyze things, and then you formulate your goals, what kind of character you have, what kind of personality you have, how much energy you pursue your goals with. Through that, your fortune may come, through that, your success may come. Secondly, it also means that you will be fortunate where the success may come to you in terms of you being given through the zodiac better fortune from by virtue of what your standing in society will be, from what your stature in society will be. So whatever areas of life that you pursue, whatever goals that you pursue with a lot of energy, with a lot of exhilaration, with a lot of thinking, killer instinct, motivation, the fortune will come to you in form of you being seen by others as a respectable person, as somebody of stature. Stature will be given to you, higher designation, higher authority will be given to you. You will be fortunate in a number of areas of life because the Fortuna Point lies in the Lagna. However, this also means that unless you work upon your character, your personality, how you carry yourself in society, the fortune may not click, the fortune may not shine, fortune may not be opening up to you. So, this is a combination of you working on your personality, your character, your willpower, your energy, how you look at goals, and through that, the zodiac giving you good fortune in various walks of life, stature given to you, designation being given to you, high authority being given to you, leadership also being given to you. Now, when the Fortuna Point lies in the second house, so on one side, the zodiac is telling you that you will make your fortune in the matters of the second house. What are the matters of the second house? The success comes to you from your community, from your extended family, your extended family network, and also the tribe that you're born in, the community that you're born in. Working with people or in the line of somebody in your community that you follow in their footsteps will bring you success. It could also be walking in the footsteps of a maternal aunt, paternal uncle, your parents itself, or somebody close to the family, or somebody coming from the community, or doing something for the community, and then the name, the stature rises in society. Second, it also means that if you are working in the lines of the second house, for example, nutrition, or trying to create incomes for other people, second house is the house of livelihood, income. So if you're trying to create income not only for yourself, but income or livelihood or nutrition for others, then your stature may rise, your income will also rise, and maybe you may have more than one area of income, one form of income, also some residual income also, and the bank balance which the second house represents, that will also increase in life. The money will also be accumulated, and very rarely will you get a dearth of money if your Fortuna Point lies in the second house. But as long as you work on the areas of the second house, which means you take your community along, you take your family along, you provide nutrition for others, you create avenues of earning for others as well, you support people who are working with you in your team so they can also make a livelihood, they can also grow in the remuneration. And if you are a person who carries with yourself with a lot of principles and values, and vice versa, which means that you will be fortunate that the Fortuna Point may bring to you not only money in the bank, but may also bring to you reputation as a person of principle, as a person of values. And when you are seen in society as a person of principles and values, then people may want to work with you, and people may want to also share their resources with you, share their nutrition with you, and through that, you get higher nutrition and higher remuneration, also higher livelihood and more money in the bank. That's the Fortuna Point in the second house for you. Now, when the Fortuna Point is in the third house, so yeah, on one side, the zodiac is telling you that you may be fortunate in the matters of the third house, which means you may be gifted the way you talk, the way you communicate, your ability to influence others, your ability to market yourself, your ability to market the things that you want to market, you want to talk about, the things that you want to sell to others or influence others with. So many of you may be gifted with that communication. However, you have to work on that area. You will have to work on that competence. You will have to work on that art to be able to then get the better of it. Many people, if you have doshas in the third house while you have a Fortuna point there, just to give you an example, there you may face challenges in your communication, yet you may make fortune through your communication. So on one hand, you talk to people, you advise people, you guide people, so you make your money, but there are also times where there may be miscommunication, there may be a communication gap, you may also suffer because of that. So the Fortuna point is a two-edged sword in some ways, where if you work on that ability, better fortune will come to you. But if you don't work on that ability, then the fortune, or as fortunate as you can get, may not come to you. The other hand, it also shows that you may be fortunate through your communication, through your marketing ability, and vice versa. That you may be fortunate in those areas, in your competence. Whether you make money out of it, it's not the zodiac responsibility, but your responsibility. Why? Because the third house is the house of self-enterprise. The more you put in the effort, the more that you are able to push yourself, the better you gain. This is also a very important placement for those people who are self-made people. People who are also doing their own thing, or working for themselves, or working in a partnership with others, but working with their own enterprise rather serving for others. And people who are on the social media, who are also maybe influencers in some way or the other, or YouTubers and so on. So that is how the fortune may come to you if the Fortuna point lies in the third house. Well, if the Fortuna point lies in the fourth house, this means that on one hand, you may be fortunate in the matters of family, in the matters of peace, tranquility, satisfaction, happiness, assets, or you may be born in a family which has all of these. That's why your Fortuna point lies. You're fortunate enough to be born in that kind of an environment, that kind of a family. On the other hand, it also means that on one hand, while the fortune is being given to you, probably you've been born in that kind of a family, but you may also make your fortune because of your focus, your concentration, your effort in the matters of the fourth house. So yeah, those people who work on the matters of the fourth house, who try and bring peace, tranquility, happiness, satisfaction, who take the responsibility of domestic affairs, they may find that they are more fortunate. And so it's closely linked to how much of an environment, peaceful environment and happy environment you are able to create at your home. The fortune may also smile on you. The other thing is that whether you make huge physical assets or not, but you may be fortunate enough in the matters of the fourth house, which means many a time, in spite of not earning a lot, in spite of not making great assets, generally, you may still have a family who supports you, who stands by you, and generally you are a person who has peace, who has tranquility. May not be so much money in the bank, may not be huge assets, but yet you are somebody who more or less at most points of life, or even in the most trying of circumstances, you can keep your peace. So on one hand, you can make your fortune through matters related to the fourth house, assets, life of conveniences. You may get all sorts of conveniences in your life, and you can make your fortune if you work in the direction of real estate, or providing conveniences to others, or making assets for others and creating assets. You may be very lucky. On the other hand, you may also, the more you work on your ability to be able to be somebody who's a family person, takes care of the domestic affair, the fortune may smile on you more. Now, if the Fortuna point lies in the fifth house for you, this is an extremely lucky point, which means that the fortune will smile on you in the line of something that you wish to do, you like to do, you want to pursue to do. So this is more connected to what you like to do. So many times the zodiac is favoring you, that if you like to be in front of the camera, if you like to do acting, you like to be an artist, fortune will smile on you, fortune will favor you. But on the other hand, it also means that unless you work on the areas of that house, the fortune may not smile on you. Which means if that competence is given to you, if that artistic ability is given to you, but unless you work on that, you sharpen that skill, you are able to work on that competence and allow it to shine, allow it to sharpened because you're working on it over a period of time. Unless you do that, the success may not come to you. Many times you may have people who are very gifted artists. However, they are very lazy. They don't work upon it. They don't pursue that skill, that hobby with the intent that they should have, with the willpower they should have. And so many times they become also ran. In society, you may hear a lot of gifted people, gifted artists who have not been able to gain the success which they initially promised. That could be the reason that they were not able to work upon and be able to exploit the fortune which has been given to them, exploit the fortune areas that have been given to them. On the other hand, such a person may also be very fortunate in the matters of love, in the matters of romance, in the matters of finance, and in the matters of gain. Also, because the 5th house, the 8th house, to the 10th house, many a time fortune comes to them after a change. Some change happens, sometimes a drastic change happens. They may lose a job, they may feel there is some challenge which has befallen them. But within a few months, when they work on it, when they work on some other tangent, they find that the fortune is clicking for them, some other avenue is opening for them, and that becomes their Fortuna point, that becomes their fortune. So if your Fortuna point in the 5th house, understand the areas of that house, understand what competence has been given to you, understand what expertise has been given to you, work upon that, and then see how the Fortuna point or the fortune will smile upon you. Where the Fortuna point lies in the 6th house in your horoscope. This is the point where the fortune will smile on you if you are somebody who likes to serve, who wants to serve, or who chooses a role to serve. Even if you are in business, or even if you are in self-enterprise or doing your own thing, there should be some service connection to what you're doing. If you're manufacturing some products, one thought process in your mind should be that I'm trying to serve people, I'm trying to make people's life easier. Maybe I'm trying to heal people, because the 6th house is also about healing, problem solving, standing up for people. Those people who may not be as lucky as you, standing up for people who are working below you. So yeah, you may also need to be a good manager, a good boss, a good supervisor, a good leader. If you are able to do that, if you stand up for others, then the competition will fall by the wayside, because the 6th house is also the house of competition, which means the fortune may smile upon you by virtue of Fortuna point, allowing you to be able to score over your competition, score over your enemies, and then through that you'll be able to make your own fortune by being able to overcome the challenges, the issues, the inimical forces which are trying to stop you. But on the other hand, it also means you have to work upon your ability to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. The 6th house is also about on a day-to-day basis what you do. 6th house is also one of the important house, which is also the house of Artha, which means money also coming in. So on a day-to-day basis, if you have a mindset of serving, if you have a mindset of serving others, and you go out on a day-to-day basis trying to improve other people's life, then the Fortuna point also shines on you, fortune also lies on you, shines on you. You may also make your fortune to other people's challenges, other people's problems. For example, a doctor, only when people fall sick do you make your fortune. So that could be another thing. Or a lawyer, because then other people go into a problem and they want to sue people, then you gain from it. Or a policeman, only when there is crime in the society do you need the police force. So that could also be where through your ability to be able to shine over others, you grow. You become a very acclaimed lawyer, you become a very acclaimed doctor, you may rise to the highest rank in the police force and so on. So if you have the Fortuna point in the 6th house, the line of service is cut out for you, but unless you make a service-oriented mindset, the fortune may not smile on you as much as you wish to gain from that place. Now the Fortuna point is in the 7th house in the horoscope. This is a very good gains coming from your partner, from your partnership, from others who you work on a day-to-day basis. So on one hand, this gives you an opportunity of creating many partnerships, which means anything that you do in partnership or want to work with people, people may not hesitate so much. People may not want to move away from you when you propose partnership or working with people, or when you try to become a team player, people will accept you wholeheartedly. More partnerships may come to you, but also more romances may also come to you, more relations may also come to you, which means the fortune will smile on you only when your ability to work on relationships is worked upon. Your ability to work with other people on a day-to-day basis is worked upon. which means you do the balance with the seventh house represents. Balance in what you want from others and balance in what you can give to others, understanding what they need from you. And only when you work upon that ability to know what others need, know how to be able to give to others to balance your needs versus others, then the fortune will smile on you. The Fortuna point will be able to give you more. Secondly, on the other hand, it also means that fortune will come to you through partnership that you do over a period of time in a balanced environment. So rather than working alone in a partnership, you will thrive, you will do better. Or you may be able to do better after you get married, after you're in a relationship. Many times you find people, their fortune rises after they get into a relationship or after they get married also. And then they feel that this is all mine. Sometimes they may be lucky because they married the right person. Now, this Fortuna point lies in the 8th house in your horoscope. What does this mean? This means that the fortune will smile on you from the areas of the 8th house, which means the more you work upon and try to work on the competences which are attached to the 8th house, you will gain more. So, all the areas of the 8th house, those areas which are hidden, which you need to extract information from, where you need to extract problems away from, obstacles away from, helping others in overcoming the obstacles, helping others overcome their challenges, their issues, then you may also be more fortunate. For example, somebody who's working in emergency services may be able to make their fortune from emergency services. That's why your Fortuna point lies there. Or those people who work for others because others have an emergency. For example, people who work for the insurance industry. Suddenly, some people go through some misfortune. They want to claim their insurance. Here, you are working for that company, working as an insurance agent, maybe the owner of an insurance company. And because other people are insuring their products, their life, you make money out of it also. Or you also helping others helps you make money out of it, make your fortune from it. People who are CAs, chartered accountants, who are in accounting, who are in any sort of wealth management, fortune will also smile on you there. However, what it also means is that you will gain only when you have a mindset of helping others, overcoming obstruction. Unless you overcome obstruction, help others overcome their obstruction, their issues, you may not be able to gain as much as you like, as much as the Fortuna point may be able to give you. This is also a good placement where you may work or you may be able to gain from the virtual world. People who are actors, people who are in any sort of industry where there is a virtual world like cinema or writing fictional or writing connected to paranormal, writing ghost stories, writing any fictional account related to magic, like the Harry Potter kind of thing. Only when you are delving into the matters of secrets, deep matters, or hidden matters like taxation or injuries or emergency services or surgeries, only then you will gain. But only when you have a mindset that you want to help others who themselves are going through challenges, and also when you have overcome many challenges, many obstructions in your life yourself. Now, the Fortuna point lies in the 9th house in your horoscope. This means that your fortune will shine upon you only when you have a mindset of learning. The more higher learning that you get, the more higher you are ready to learn, the more higher you are ready to put in the effort to gain from your gurus, to gain from your mentors, to gain from experts, to gain from those people who are more competent than you. Only then will fortune smile on you, the Fortuna point be able to exploit it by you. Just keep in mind that in which house the ruler of the house lies, where the Fortuna point lies, that this also has a strong bearing on where the results come from, who is the nakshatra lord, where the nakshatra lord is placed. So these connections are also important. So yeah, this is clearly pointing out that the higher that you learn, the higher effort that you are ready to put in, the higher you are ready to put in effort to learn from experiences and open your eyes. Fortune will shine on you, gains will come from you. For you. This also means that you may work with people from different cultures, from different society. You may travel abroad, travel away from the area of your birth, and then you make your fortune. As long as you remain in the vicinity of where you have been born, you may not be able to make a good fortune or do better. Many people continue to struggle a lot in the land of their birth or close, and then they feel, why am I not succeeding? Because your fortune lies far away from the place of your birth. only when you are able to move away, you do it. So many times it does happen that the fortune smiles on you only when you travel away from your place of birth. Secondly, have a very liberal mindset, have a very learning mindset, ready to learn from your experiences, ready to learn from mentors, keeping an open mind. Secondly, this also means that the fortune is given to you that you will be able to learn better. Only material gains may not come to you, but the fortune may be that you are able to gain a lot of learning. You gain a lot of experiences. You become a guru yourself. You become a master yourself in some area, and then to exploit that is up to you. The Fortuna point is allowing you to become an expert, allowing you to become a guru, allowing you to become a mentor for others. But then for you, it is how you are able to use that learning, that competence, and exploit it. Your advantage, that fortune will smile on you. Now, the Fortuna point lies in the 10th house in your horoscope. This means that the career will be good for you. The career will bring gains for you. The career will be able to bring the fortune to you. Fortune will smile to you only when you're working on your career or your karma. The better you're focusing on your karma, your duties, your responsibilities, and with the confidence, with the competence, and focusing on being loyal to your karma, being loyal to your responsibilities, being loyal to what has been given to you as your goals, as your career goal. Responsibilities given to your work at your work, responsibilities given to you by your bosses, by a higher up. When you are able to do that, then only you make good fortune or better fortune. So the more you are focused on not only working better in your work, but working better on your responsibilities, but working on your relationship with your supervisors, with your managers, with your higher-ups, only will the fortune smile on you. But the other thing can also be that the materialistic results are not given to you, but the designation may be given to you, the authority may be given to you, the opportunity to rise higher, to grow in your career, to grow in your designation may be given to you, but the material benefit you will have to gain yourself, which means the opportunity for growth is coming, but you will have to negotiate your salaries. You will have to negotiate your benefit. You will have to negotiate which company you go to. So when you make the effort, growth may come to you, designation may come to you, better knowing may come to you, but generally all the time, better material results may not come to you all the time. So your career may do very well, designation may do very well, experience may come. You may gain good relations with your bosses, with your supervisors, but the material gains is something that you will have to make your own fortune or your own fortune from. So when the Fortuna point lies in the 11th house in your horoscope, this is one of the better placements for the Fortuna point, because here the zodiac is saying that the whole world, the masses are your fortune, or you will be able to do more for the masses. The more masses-wise mindset that you have, the more larger mindset, larger goals that you have, the more you want to do for the larger masses, the society at large, the fortune may smile on you more. So generally, many people who want to do something great in the world, a lot of times gurus or actors who want to reach out to people, or directors or producers of movies who want to make movies for the masses, people who want to write books for the masses, people, leaders who want to lead masses, politicians who want to do something for the larger masses of the country, maybe they may be fortunate enough when the Fortuna point lies in the 11th house, because the zodiac is telling you that if you have a mindset for the masses, if you want to do something for the masses, then the fortune may smile on you. I may be able to do more. On the other hand, it may mean that the fortune is given to you that you may be able to lead masses, you may be able to influence masses, but the material gains may or may not be coming to you, because of course, on one hand, that charisma is being given to you, the ability to lead people is being given to you, the ability to influence people is being given to you, but now it's up to you how you make your own fortune, how you are able to exploit the Fortuna point in the 11th house. This also means that you may be fortunate enough to have some very good friends, some very close friends, some very good social connections, because of which you may be able to exploit opportunities which come from those avenues from time to time, or make use of those opportunities, or create those opportunities also from time to time. So this is one of the better placements where people who have had mass success, large success, a large extent have the Fortuna point in some way or the other connected to the 11th house. Now, the Fortuna point lies in the 12th house in your horoscope. This is a mixed placement from the worldly perspective. On one hand, The zodiac is telling you you may be fortunate enough in the matters of the 12th house, in the matters of imagination, in the matters of creativity, in the matters of giving to others, doing more for others, having certain abilities, certain competence, certain resources where you want to do for others, you may be able to do for others, you may be able to make a change in many people's life because of your contribution, because your ability to give. Sometimes your ability to give up through your philanthropic actions also. So many big philanthropers, large-hearted philanthropers who have had a lot of fortune in their life, and because of that, they have also been more giving, also have Fortuna Point in the 12th house. So on one side, the zodiac is saying, I haven't given you the opportunity of being fortunate to give to others, contribute to others, to make a difference in many people's life. This could also be through your creativity. A lot of people are very creative, where they can create certain things which are very good for others. Maybe through an NGO that they form, maybe through a hospital that they establish, maybe by some foundation that they establish, maybe while they're living or even after they are gone, because of which even long time after they are gone, their legacy remains on, and that remains the moksha. On the other hand, the Fortuna Point lying in the 12th house also means that a certain opportunity has also been given to you, that if you truly work towards your moksha, towards becoming fortunate in the direction of your salvation, of your retribution, then you may have a chance at the crack at being able to leave a strong legacy behind, leaving a strong action behind, strong example behind. So having the Fortuna Point in the 12th house is a mixed bag. On one hand, you'll have to give a lot, you'll have to contribute a lot. Maybe the mindset will be in you that you have to give, you have to contribute a lot. So many times you might not be as lucky as others materialistically on paper. However, you may find that the goodwill that you carry from many others, many of whom you may not even remember, maybe certain things which will be favoring you. So many times misfortune doesn't come to you at the last moment. You get away from that misfortune. You are saved by the whisker, as it is said, because of carrying the goodwill of many people, and that way you may be more fortunate than others. And in the matter of giving a strong legacy, strong example, maybe strong philanthropic actions behind as well, and that way the Fortuna Point may lie in the 12th house and give you gain through that placement.